Hey everybody, Forbidden Exile here, and welcome to a new video. I know it's been a while. Took some time off, some well-needed time off from Path of Exile. Played some Ark Survival Evolved, actually, with my wife. It's a pretty fun game that me and my wife play together when I'm not playing Path of Exile. But 3.22 starts today, so I figured I'd put out a quick League start video that I'm going to be playing. It's Pathfinder. It's the castoncrit Forbidden Rite Pathfinder that I played last League, somewhat towards the end of the League. The leveling process for it, it's leveling a Pathfinder. You do, if you're going into some sort of chaos, toxic rain, level with Poisonous Concoction, and then move into toxic rain, and I'll probably end up playing toxic rain. Pretty much use that to farm all of the gear that you see on the screen. Some of the stuff isn't mandatory, some of the stuff is, so I'll point that out. So we'll go over the gear, the gems, and then go over to the skill tree. All right, so for the gear, this is the Gemini Claw. It's the standard castoncrit Forbidden Rite Gemini Claw. The reason that you get the Gemini Claw is for the grants 14 mana per enemy hit. You don't have a Mageblood, you don't have constant reduced mana cost of skills. You do kind of with the Pathfinder ascendancies, but just that mana per hit helps so much. For the helm, it's Crown of the Inward Eye. It's best in slot for castoncrit. As always, try to get the enchant, the Forbidden Rite. Fires an additional projectile on there. That one adds a tremendous amount of damage. And then if you can, maybe a little bit later in the League, or if you get lucky, and you can, or just going through and just corrupting crowns, get the +1 max power charge on there as well. The very, very mandatory Aegis Aurora shield. This is what makes this specific build not so much a League starter. It's kind of a League start goal. But the recover energy shield equal to 2% of your armor when you block is crucial. Obviously the increased armor energy shield and the elemental resistances is nice. +5 max cold res is nice. We're not using Molding of the Flesh with Period of Ice to get, close to 90% all res on this one. So it's not as tanky as the Occultist version, but it's way cheaper. For the ring, you don't have to get a ridiculous ring like this. Just try to get some sort of a curse enemies with despair on hit ring. Try to get it with an Iolite ring. It's always cheaper to craft these than it is to buy them. To get an Iolite ring, hunter influenced, it's, for some reason, it's always cheaper just to buy an Iolite ring, buy a hunter orb, and then do it yourself. I just do Reforged Caster, or just chaos spam it, alt spam it, whatever you want to do. For this one, I actually did the Veiled Chaos Orb and got the minimum endurance charges just to help with some res, but you don't need to have that on there. And obviously I have max life, which does absolutely no good. To get lucky and get T1 energy shield on there as well, but it's just the curse enemies with despair on hit ring. The other ring, because I'm going a magic find version, just a really well rolled Venters. I doubt I'll get a Venters that's this good till probably a little later in the League. If I don't get a Venters, then I'll probably just get a stat res ring, something like that. All right, so for the amulet, Ashes of the Stars, you need to get as much mana reservation efficiency as you can on this build in order for it to work. I'm working with 113 mana right now, which seems like a lot, but I don't have a Mageblood. So I anointed Champion of the Cause to get increased mana reservation efficiency because I am actually picking up Charisma and Sovereignty on the skill tree, so you don't need to anoint those, obviously. Try to get a well-rolled one. The quality of all skill gems does help a lot with some of the alt quality gems that you can get. If you can't afford Ashes, then just get some sort of an amulet with either +1 level of all skill gems, +1 level of all chaos gems, or some sort of mana reservation efficiency, and then anoint Champion of the Cause. It's golden, teal, and crimson. With the body armor, you do not whatsoever need a body armor like this. Just one that I crafted last League. You try to get the additional curse. It's literally just a hunter mod on a body armor. You don't need the item level rarity or the socketed gems have increased crit chance, but the additional curse does help. You can honestly run this build with the tabula if you want. You can try to go with Skin of the Loyal, Skin of the Lords. Those ones are just a little iffy because they can break your build. And it's just hard to find the right socket colors as well. Some sort of a good 6-link body armor that has energy shield like a Val Regalia. You can go big budget and get the Fracture Global Defenses that I've used in the past if you would like. That's entirely up to you. As I said, I'm going more the Magic Find increased rarity on this build as a goal. So the Fractured increased rarity prefix is ideal. That way you can actually roll increase rarity on the suffix, and then you can do suffixes cannot be changed to get the +2 AoE gems. So you can kind of see how you do this. You just roll with essences until you get T1 increased rarity. Suffixes cannot be changed, Veiled Chaos Orb, over and over and over again. Fizzazz, Fire, Cold or Lightning, and then try to unveil Socketed AoE gems. That one can be kind of expensive. You don't really need the rarity on here if you're not going for super magic find, but you do need attack speed and the level of Socketed AoE gems, and then do increased effective marks and a chance to unnerve those ones. It'll take you a little bit to get there, to get those to roll. For the belt, as I said, no Mageblood, no Headhunter, nothing like that. I do have a Stygian Vise with enemies withered by you have -6 to all res. It's kind of expensive. If you want to try to buy this, you don't really need the enchant on there. It does help a little bit. The Hunter Stygian Vise can be pretty expensive in the beginning of a league, but is what it is. You know, I just C-spam this until I got pretty good rolls on it. That was it. For the gold worms, these ones will probably be the last item that I get, because to get a gold worms with that enchant on it is pretty rare. Hopefully this video, you know, does pretty well, and a lot of people start running lab with gold worms on them to get that and craft that on those, because it will help a lot. You have to have that on your boots in order to run castoncrit Forbidden Rite. Every time you cast Forbidden Rite, it hits you, so you're always getting that reduced mana cost of skills. Otherwise, you really can't run the build. So for the flasks, you don't actually need the gain a charge on hit, or gain a charge when hit, or gain a charge when you cast, when you deal a critical strike, because of the Pathfinder ascendancy. And I also have a mod on my Watcher's Eye, but really just the Pathfinder ascendancies help so much. So I just do the increased effect, and then we do a Diamond Flask with increased critical strike chance. We do a Basalt Flask with chance to avoid being stunned with increased effect, and then a Quicksilver Flask with reduced mana cost of skills. So to get these two, you just unveil Cinder Swallows, and then a Granite Flask with double armor, and then the last one just a Dying Sun for the additional projectiles, which adds like 3 million damage. I do have these over here. This is just kind of your standard Poisonous Concoction setup, in case you were curious. I just do Poisonous Concoction, Void Manipulation, Lesser Multiple Projectiles, and Volley. I did beat Act 5, made it all the way to Act 5 with literally just a 4-link and running Vitality and 2 Life Flasks. That was it. Just to kind of test it out to make sure that it will still work for the league. I didn't make a video on it just because I didn't make it to maps or anything. I just wanted to see if I could get to Act 5 with it. So as far as the gems that I run, I do an Enlighten, link to Assassin's Mark, and Anomalous Mark on hit. The Anomalous Mark on hit has reduced mana cost, which mana is important. This one, the Culling Strike is nice. You don't really need to run the setup. It will help, obviously being able to cull stuff, but just a level 5 Castoncrit, link to Culling Strike, and then a level 120 Anomalous Vengeance, and level 120 Divergent Purifying Flame. Over here, have Anomalous Zealotry just to get a little bit more crit multi. You don't really need Anomalous, it doesn't make that big of a difference, but Zealotry does. Level 4 Enlighten, and then a 2020 Tempest Shield. For the actual Castoncrit Forbidden Rite, Divergent Cyclone just helps you move a little faster. And then link that to a level 520 Awakened Void Manipulation, a level 620 Awakened Castoncrit. I don't actually need a level 6 because I'm not hitting 10.1 attacks per second. But I have it in my standard account, so it's there. You can get away with like a level 3, 4, 5. Just a regular 2020 increased critical strikes. 2120 regular non-alt quality Forbidden Rite. And then a 20, I have a 2023, but just a 2020 increased critical damage support. For the auras, just do Determination. You don't really need Anomalous. Level 4 Enlighten, a Val Discipline, which get a 2020 Val Discipline as soon as you can, or a 120 and start leveling it up. This is your Life Flask. It's the only way that you can instantly gain life back, because you're Chaos Inoculation, so you don't have life. Then Purity Elements to get ailment immune and to just help with elemental resistances, so you don't have to worry too much about them on your gear, and just being ailment immune helps so much. And then I have a level 2 Precision for the Watcher's Eye mod. The Anomalous Withering Step, which I have here on A, which you really just use on like bosses or really dangerous packs to apply all that withered. Regular Flame Dash, and then Molten Shell, Val Molten Shell. So I just got Molten Shell on my left click, and then Val Molten Shell on my mouse button. For the Jewel, I have another additional enemies withered by you have -2 to all resistance, some res, and then some mana as well. That one, just get whatever stat or res you might be missing. Without any flasks up right now, I am res capped. Obviously I'm Chaos Inoculation. I have 12,000 armor, which isn't bad, but when I'm actually mapping, all of my flasks are literally always up. You can see 90% res, 46,000 armor. The reason why I have them out is because it's super annoying when they go off, because they're always going off, but you can see them all. 46,000 armor. As far as skill tree goes, so you're obviously Pathfinder, not Occultist, so you're going to start down here. And it might seem like you're wasting a lot of points, but it's actually just as efficient. You will lose your medium cluster jewels, but I think it works really well, and it's super cheap. So for ascendancies, just to flask effect chaos damage into Nature's Reprisal. That Wither, do Nature's Adrenaline for free flask charges every 3 seconds. Nature's Boon for increased effect of magic utility flasks, and then just take these small ascendancy nodes to get more flask charges gained and flask effect. I'm gonna take these flasks out. So it's super annoying when you're just sitting in your hideout. Alright, so work your way over here. We're going to take Charisma. You'll obviously have to respec into this once you get the majority of the gear. If you're playing Poisonous Concoction or Toxic Rain. Over here, take this. Careful Conservationist. Reduce flash charges used, increase flask effect, and that also gives you increased flash charges gained when you deal a critical strike, which you're always doing critical strikes. So that one's free. For the Watcher's Eye mod, this one is mandatory as well. Just the first mod, you don't need the rest of it, but the gain energy shield per enemy hit while affected by discipline is mandatory, which kind of sucks. It kind of, puts this build a little bit behind a wall until you get this mod. If you want to go CI, obviously, which you kind of have to, because every time you cast Forbidden Rite, it does chaos damage to you. Then just infused, because we're power charge stacking. Come up here, take these crit damage, crit multi. Over here, take influence for non-curse auras. Get a little mana reservation efficiency right there. Take increased damage for each aura. Obviously, chaos inoculation. Now for this one, I got Touch of Cruelty, Unholy Grace, and Wicked Paw. Just for chaos damage, and chaos damage and attack speed. Try to get some sort of reduced mana cost of skills, mana reservation efficiency, some global crit multi. Same thing, spell damage, crit multi, crit multi. Over here, the Insta Leech. That one helps a lot. And then you are going to want to get a High Templar Dominus Militant Faith, large one, in order to get the 3% more spell damage per power charge, so it actually gives you like 18% more spell damage. Where I'm at right now, because I have 6 power charges. Obviously get a maximum power charge here. Take some deep thoughts to get mana reservation, or max mana regen, and then some intelligence. And you do that so that you can get the additional increased mana reservation efficiency. Take this one to get a chance to gain power charge and kill and more damage per power charge. So that gives you another 8% per power charge, so keeps adding up. Take all these. Level of all chaos skill gems, and you don't have to worry about the lose 10% of energy shield when you use a chaos skill, because chaos damage does nothing to you. For this one, the most important one here is Mage Hunter to get chance to block all spell damage, so that you will be attack and spell block capped. The other one, just kind of, whichever one you can get. And then this just Corrupted Blood with some res, and then some more strength, because you do need strength on this build. You can see I got a strength node taken, and then just spell damage and crit multi. I'm down here, take these block spell damage while holding the shield. I took the chance to block attack damage per 5% chance to block on equipped shield. And then just some energy shield to reduce mana cost of skills while on full energy shield, which you should always be on full energy shield, or you'll be dead. Some crit multi here, critical chance multiplier against unique enemies. Take sovereignty down here and increase effect. And then right here, you're going to need a large thread of hope. Try to get -10. It goes up to -20. Try to get as well rolled a 1 as you can, so that you can take Light of Divinity to get more strength and spell damage as well. And then Glancing Blows and Divine Shield. If you do have extra points and you want to try to rework some stuff over here, my character is only level 97, So if you do get to like level 100, you could take these 3 nodes right here, honestly, and it will give you a lot of armor and energy shield and make your life pool that much bigger. All right, well, that's it. I will leave you with a pretty juicy cemetery map that I ran last night and just kind of test the build out again, make sure it was still working fine. Well, I will be going live today at around 4 o'clock for League start. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you get notified when I do go live and when I post my League start videos. I will probably post a few videos in a series just as far as progress goes, and probably be going live today and possibly tomorrow to get to maps. I'm not a map rusher by any means, so I take my time. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you have a great League start.
I'm not up to that just yet.
Just in time.